Hello viewers and our students. This is Mount Kenya University reaching out to you right in your houses, right in your offices, right in your places, from wherever you're watching us. Our interest is to enlighten the society in Kenya. We are looking at degenerating contexts in the society, still in our unit, Rights of Children and Protection. We call it BEC 2203. And in this very template, I want us to see ourselves. I want us to take a moment of reflection. I want us to face it. Because we have been entrusted with this very big obligation. We would call it noble. Of bringing up these miniature people to some full level where we expected them to produce the best fruits that we can call the best fruits in the society and make our land a one habitable place conducive for everyone living. As adults, whatever it is that we kind of practice at one point in time or the other, is it what we would like to get reproduced by these young ones? If not, well and good, let us all admit that it happens. Whatever it is that we do, whatever results that we kind of experience, do they end at where we want them, or do they extend into getting into these young ones, sending the wrong message and information, and forming all wrong notions and practices in them? And when they reproduce them, again, we quarrel them, we blame them, we brand them, we demonize them. Let us face it. Do we experience abortion amongst our adult society? What does that say to this very child, to this very youth? Simply, it tells them, in as much as we have these people who are responsible, per se, some of them would find it good to terminate the lives of those of us who are unborn. Meaning what? The right to life, as we shall come to see, it is in the hands of some adults whom we would say they are responsible. And that's why law comes in to enforce whatever should happen to those people who may not execute whatever you may call common sense, because it's not common to them all. The rate of abortions in our land, if I tell you to gather some knowledge about it, you give me some statistics about it, I believe the last time I checked was 465,000 abortions per year. Let me give you statistics. I want you to see some 400,065 being drained of lives which we don't know they would have amounted to what? And every year they get drained. That's a degenerating context. That's an aspect which is not working for the best interest of the child, neither is it kind of teaching them what should improve on their lives. It is not teaching them what they should do best to other beings in the society. It is not sending a message of good living together with the rest of the members of the society, because our members of society starts from the unborn to the born, again to the dead, living dead, going that way to the ancestors. Then here comes We are facing it. We do this in their sight, in their understanding, and in their hearing. Look at number 2. Can we face it that we are exposing them to a lot of conflicting and negative growth and developmental values? When I'm sending my child some cigars at the shop, what am I telling them? When they are bringing it, and here I am assuming some other posture that looks so relaxed, what am I telling this kid? They are watching me. I am their dad. I am their teacher. I'm the one who has sent them. On bringing, I can show them the tactic of enjoying. Mark this, relaxing. I may not be saying it verbally to them, but I'm sending a lot of information to them. That whoever they esteem, whoever they value, is here doing again what seems to be so relaxing and, whatever it is that they may have to say. And yet, we teach them in the class, or we tell them from that very packet, uvutaji wa sigara unadhuru afya yako. Which is more stronger? The message they are saying, or the message you are saying? Look at the sugar-coated evils. What are the, why sugar-coated? Again, why are they evils? Any evil is what is opposed to a value. Meaning, these are sugar-coated vices. What is this that you have institutionalized? As a teacher, as a parent, you have institutionalized, be it abuses, be it battles, like the domestic violence you're having today. Whatever it is that you do to dehumanize this child or to dehumanize whoever is near you, these children are watching. I've heard of some cultures whereby a man must beat a wife. Okay, a man must beat a wife. Oh. And they have it that way, and they have no problem with it. Meaning, to them, even that girl child who is coming up, this beating has become of so much of a daily routine or as a way of life. It is now so much acculturated into her, and it is now something that they can live with. To me, it is a sugar-coated evil, just as we have corruption, whereby Nikula too, I'm not stealing it from anyone, whereby I'm having a standard 80 boy here, a Form 2 boy here, who is even chatting with the friends. Mazi, do you have a girlfriend? Are you a man enough? Are you a man enough because of a girlfriend? What about the girlfriend? Do you think they are talking of platonic love or relationship? They are talking of that act whereby they are rehearsing what they should be doing in that particular institution, whereas we can see they are in a stage where we want them to come out so pure, perfect, and I would say virgin. Talk of being a virgin today. And you'll be told you are in Jerusalem alone. Others are in Jericho. Look at life solutions. When you have allowed them to go for these solutions from the media, mass media, social media, printed media, whatever it is that they are consulting, what advice are they going to get? What do you think? What sells to them in the best manner is what they are going for. What wall have we placed between them and ourselves? I understand we are so busy. By the way, even teachers in school, they are so busy. A child comes to you. Teacher, I would like to see you. When? After this. Do you find some time to conference with them, maybe to get a bit of whatever it is that is concerning them? I appreciate that some of our learners are even leaving standard 8 teachers to go and consult with the preschool teachers, and they even confined with them. Why? They have a lot of questions out of curiosity because they want to learn. Some of them, right, like we are having in class 8, they have a lot of role confusion. Some of these things are not very clear to them. Look at the example we have up here. That if you are a virgin, you are in your own land. The issue is, these are some of the things they would like to kind of get from you. And some of these they confined in you. Are you available? Again, how much are you available? Unfortunately, we expose them enough to the media. I would call it enough because to them, it's just an adequate moment. But what are the parameters that they do keep? Listen to our radios every morning. What stuff are they consuming? This one is calling and saying, my husband treats me in this and this manner. Whoever they are calling are just media people, not experts in guidance and counseling. By the end of the day, the counseling you can get is not the counseling that is going to give them a streamline to whatever focus you'd like them to face. It is something that is going to be comical and to some extent explosive. Why? They want everybody to be enticed. Is that the way you want them to go? Just but not to mention the stuff they are browsing in those electronic media. Look at ourselves, parents. We are so much involved again in the electronic media, so even where we are seated with them, when you have time with them, it's again like a conference whereby everybody is consulting their gadgets. So whatever it is that you know, according to exposure, whatever it is that you know is harmful to them, do you ever have time to point it out to them? And they come out now deciding to take it or leave it, take this or leave this, take this or leave this. That is when we are going to have an assertive child. But again, when it is from you, an MKO, a more knowledgeable other, they would grasp it very fast and more seriously than when they are learning it from the media. Yours is censored, yours is sieved. Degenerating contexts that we are exposing our children to, the society we are, whereas we expect them to reproduce the best and to give us a next refined generation of our society. Let us face it. Look at the way we have relegated our mandate to secular systems. In my case, I've just cited education. But I want you to see what is this mandate relegation. Parents, are you hearing me from home? How many times have you ever asked that kid, Hivi ndivyo mnafunza shule? Is that what you are taught in school? Higher. Do I say it? A philosopher called Pestalozzi said the parent is the first teacher of the child. Let alone, is that what you have been taught by your teacher? You are the first person, so it is the teacher who should be asking, is it what you have been taught by your parent at home? But we can see this relegation. There is what? Transferring of responsibility, whereby wherever the child should know what they should know. We are not saying you snatch away our job, parents, to start teaching your children. No, just complement and supplement us. But again, what is this that the child should learn from you? Have they learned? From there, what is this that they should have learned from me as a teacher? Have they learned? At least that way, we are complementing one another, and by the end of the day, we can see a destiny for this kid well streamlined by people who are acting as pillars. I'm just looking at education. Remember, the aspect of this teacher is to foster knowledge more often cognitively, skills more often psychomotorily, values more often in line with the content they have been exposed to, attitude more often in line with what the teacher is shaping in this child. Meaning, anything that falls out that parameter will leave this kid running a deficit. And that's why, as a teacher, I would train a kid and they get excellent, and you realize by the end of the day, it will be so disappointing that when they even get into a job placement, they can't cope with the pressures from all sides. Social pressure, emotional pressure, physical pressure, but cognitively they're very sharp. You want to tell me you can keep such a one, even from your business, even from whatever it is that you've employed them to do? Look at the church. If you look at the church, it is so much on adults. About the children, well, they are there, but in a way, and we appreciate those churches who are taking children seriously. But let us face it, in a way, we have brought their programs at the periphery, but whatever takes the central stage in those churches is whatever is adult. Adult? Remember, we said even from 5 years of age, 90% of their brain capacity is developed. And when I talk of 90%, it is the difference between your brain capacity and their brain capacity is only 10%. The difference between you is that you have more experiences. You have experienced many things they have not experienced. And that's why now whatever you deposit in their mind, just as John Locke said, they are just a blank, clean slate. It is upon you now to deposit what it is that you want them to learn. In fact, from that very low level, if you want to teach a very complex material, you can teach and they understand. Mark me. Meaning, when I look at those social organizations like the churches and the rest, our focus upon children is in a way not fully blown. They are coming in a way as if they are at the periphery. These are people who should be at the center stage, and whatever it is that they're getting exposed to, be well carved as per their age and levels of development. And that is where we are going to have this person becoming. Why am I saying becoming? We said becoming, it is the fullest level of development you would expect to be realized by this child. Meaning, there is what we'll always call precocity. And precocity in this case, we are saying, in as much as at this level there is what everyone is expected to be doing and to behave, there are some who can exceed that. So by the time these institutions have come, right from the family, what is this that can be done by this one? Let us expound it. Let us qualify it to the next level. We are going to realize a lot of potential being utilized, and by the end of the day, we are going to have responsible people way beyond even our expectations. And that will be to our advantage. Of course, we have seen it. Some we are calling gifting. Some we are calling talenting. But remember from our first lesson, you are a nurturer as a teacher. Whatever comes with this child, one from nature, now you kind of bring it to a nurture. That is, some are inborn talents, giftings. Now you come expose them to environment. If it is conducive, you realize you get to the optimal functioning of those giftings. Let us face it. Do you all agree that domestic violence, peer pressure, and social conflicts are our order of the day? Domestic. Who are these who are so much in domestic? I wanted to use the word castigation of this, but the point is, who are these perpetrators of whatever we can say it is a conflict? What's a conflict? Whatever is not in line with your interests always will come out as a conflict. Whenever you are going to get a grip of these children, it is when you align yourself with their interest. So any other time you are so strict, and let me not even use the word strict, but very keen about their interest, you are going to go together because you are avoiding conflict. Am I saying at home everything should be a walk in the park? Well and good, that would be so ideal. Am I saying peer conflicts and pressure, there is some way we can avoid it? The answer is yes and no. But if we get it right on developing an assertive child, a child who says yes to what is right and no to what is not right, then we should not fear this. When we are talking of the social conflict, we are not going to tether this child in the house. We are going to release them to some social groupings. So they're going to interact, they're going to associate, they're going to relate. Well, it should not worry us so much. But let us worry at this point. From our end, when they are within us, how much do we behave in a way that we would like them to adopt so that it may work for their best interest? Anytime it's against that, then it becomes a conflict. And we are the perpetrators. Discrimination of the children on the basis of race, religion. What is this? The color, ethnicity. We come to the class. Who are bright, who are not bright. We even give them names so they know I'm different from these ones. We come to the family. Who are favorites? Who are not favorites? Why is it? These ones are named along my father's line. These ones are named along my mother's line. Whatever it is that is said, whatever shows this kid that they are anyhow different, and in this case, on the negative aspect of their treatment, that one dehumanizes the child, and from there, whatever child you may expect to bring out from there, it is a malnutrited child. Because remember, we are bringing up a holistic child. But in this case, look at this discrimination where it is going to the extent of now neglect and even torture. We are the people who are doing it. And that's why we say, let us face it. How much are we discriminating them? Until we are not providing whatever should be provided to them. That is neglecting them. Until we are inflicting pain on them. That is torturing them. It can be physical torture. It can be emotional torture. And I'm telling you, whatever it is that you are doing to this kid will someday come out and sublimate. What goes around will always come back around. And when it comes back, it will hit us harder. Our children. This is our doing. Exposing them to various degenerating contexts. Look at the social and the domestic conflicts. Why have I come back on the same? It is not the same. But I'm saying wherever our children are away, we can see how, even here, if I was to see a street child, how would I behave? Would I behave as if I've seen a human being who is dignified? Look at whatever I'm calling domestic. There are some children we have branded in our homes, and some we have even branded them criminals. And from that end, what do they say? Come mbaya. Even my parents know I'm a hard nut to crack. And you realize, even from that domestic setting, they will leave going to the extended setting of the social, or whatever it is, environment there, and they will become unhandleable. By the end of the day, they are in the prisons, they are in children remands, and we continue branding them, hard nuts to crack. And that's why some go beyond repair. Even in prison, the much they know is that they are getting hardened. They are earning more tactics to come and employ. You'll face it. But again, we are the same people who brought this to our own selves. Look at the immorality that we are having today. Some of the consequences we are having is HIV/AIDS. And they are telling us 44% of the transmissions are within marital partners. What does that tell you? I won't tell you. These wars, who are warmongers? Is it not we who weave them, who coined them, who created them, and we even fund? So much about that. Look at the criminal activities. Give me the statistics of people whom you would call thieves. Call them robbers, if there's any difference. Call whoever you may want to call, because I want even to send you to some of our streets in our towns, and we see these professional prostitutes, and you tell me how many of them are children other than adults. Our children can see all this. They are mapping it. By mapping, I mean they are just absorbing it without giving it any meaning. They are not so keen about the consequences. They don't have time to dig up, why is this person in the streets selling their own bodies? I don't want us to understand, but again, in everything there is more than meets the eye. Adults. Here we are. Let us face it. But by the end of the day, whatever we shall accord to these children, it is what they'll give us back. We nurture a country, we shall get a country. And of course you have it, Kenya. But we nurture a nation, we shall have a nation. meaning a functional society that has some focus, some humane, and godliness. If anything, after actualization is what? It is transcendence. Get the Maslow hierarchies, whatever, pyramid. At the apex there, transcendence. Meaning what? Everybody has a back know-how that there is a supreme creator whom they focus to, whom they aim, and at some point, they join together. I want to end there, and I say, whether we bury our hands in the sand, a child learns by eyes. Can I first stop at that? We meet in the next lesson.
These televised lectures supplement our robust online learning going on our MKU online platform. You can view more on our televised lectures via our online platform. We are in a digital era, and Mount Kenya University knows this. The following are the steps to follow so as to complete your online application. Download the application form from the website www.mku.ac.ke. Attach copies of your academic certificates and ID. Pay the application fees via M-Pesa pay bill number 270988. Your ID is the account number. 2,000 shillings is the charge for a postgraduate. You can also deposit in the bank accounts provided on the website. Then email all the above to apply@mku.ac.ke.